and respected House. My reasons broadly in support of the motion today are, firstly, death sentencing is a barbaric act. Secondly, that it's been unproved to have any deterrence effect. Thirdly, as my learned friend pointed out, it violates the most inalienable rights of an individual. Fourthly, it fails to take into consideration the reformative goal of a criminal justice system. And lastly, and the most important one, which I feel, considering the fact that most of you have voted in favor of death penalty, is whether public emotions and public opinions can sway the law and ensure that death penalty continues in our statute book. On the first point, my humble submission is, kindly imagine the pain and suffering that a convict has to undergo, both in terms of the physical pain that would be inflicted upon him at the time of execution of the death penalty, and secondly, the long wait, especially in a country like India, that a convict has to undergo, visualizing this scene every night. In my humble submission, the suffering which a convict will have to undergo, visualizing the day on which the death penalty would be imposed or inflicted upon him, is the most torturous experience one can ever have, and that itself is a good ground enough to abolish death penalty. And secondly, recent incidents of terrorism and commission of heinous crimes have aroused public anger, rightly so, because the kind of incidents that we hear day in and day out would arouse anger in any responsible citizen in a country. However, law cannot always succumb to public opinion. If that were the case, law would never have served the purpose of being a progressive one and perform its duty of a reformative action. There were times when sati was acceptable in India, but when a law was imposed to abolish sati, there was public outcry against it, but law did in fact succeed in performing its reformist agenda. Similarly, as I stand today, I am conscious of the fact that there are thousands of citizens in India, and as evident from the poll today, there are many of you who indeed support imposition of death penalty. But it is time that we also look in a progressive manner and let the law perform its function of a reformist agenda, wherein we move from a medieval era of a revengeful attitude to a more civilized society wherein individual human rights are respected. Since we moved to a situation wherein human rights have been considered to be the most important rights which law has conferred upon individuals, it is time that we all recognize the inalienable rights of an individual and move forward to a situation where we abolish death penalty in toto. May I conclude with the words of Mahatma Gandhi, that except God, no one has right to take away life, because He alone grants life to each and everyone. Thank you.